Welcome to the Brutiful Game. As always, I am Blake here with Ferris.
Hola.
And Ron.
What's happening?
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Our Valentine's Day specials. We sit here, just three dudes in a room on Valentine's Day.
Nothing awkward about that at all.
Gonna drink a few beers and talk soccer.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Something
This is
like
gonna
that.
happen.
That's what this podcast is about?
It is. It's about craft beer and soccer, introducing folks to good craft beer, which we'll get to in just a second. But it's also the Valentine's Day special, which means that we are going to reinstitute our love poems that started last year.
After the beer, right?
So we're gonna do
the
beer first? Yeah, after the beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
But should we do last year's favorite right before the beer? In case anyone forgot.
Yeah,
we
might
may
as well.
So
Go
here
ahead.
was the one that got Ferris laughing till
don't
like
have me in
only
tears.
dogs could hear him. Was roses are red, violets are blue. You be my Dirty Sanchez, and I'll be your Olivier Giroud. That's a really tough one.
Brilliant.
It's a really tough one to top. I'm not gonna lie.
Brilliant.
I'm lowering the bar tremendously. Mine will not top that.
Yeah, I don't think mine will have something to do with that, but it will definitely not top.
I think you and I are thinking similarly then. So I had the beer pick for this go round for this Valentine's Day special, and I apologize because I try to. This is just for our folks that listen because I like to spread out the love of the different breweries and stuff we're going to go to. But I'm actually dipping back to the last brewery I just did, which I think Ron was not here for.
Nope. I was in.
Ferris was. Do you remember Ferris?
No, I have
That makes it what? Dogfish, right?
Dogfish. That's
wow.
right. Yeah,
He's got
Ron
it.
has a great memory. I do not.
So I don't hate to have a Dogfish because they have great beers. Dogfish, one of the folks that like Sam Adams, if they're some of the folks that help kind of start the craft beer thing really taking off in the States, Dogfish were the guys that were like, here's how crazy you can get with beer.
Yeah. They were doing like Egyptian beers and all kinds of crazy
where they
stuff.
like archaeologically, or they would do biological archaeology, where they would see what was in the bowl from ancient Egypt
Right.
and recreate it as a beer.
Nerd Hour is next.
Yeah. So, but I had to go with this Dogfish, and you'll see why, for Valentine's Day.
Here we go.
Here we go. Gentlemen, feast your eyes on Dogfish Head's
I saw this.
Romantic Chemistry
Oh,
IPA.
I saw this and was like, man, I want to try this.
Well, you're about to,
bless
my
you,
friend.
sir.
7.2.
Yeah, she's not
7.2
a
on the old scale.
gentle IPA. I mean, she might taste smooth, but 7.2%. So here, let me pull up a little info. Dogfish Head. If you don't know about them, I mean, you should have seen them in your grocery store or something because they're one of the
At
biggest.
some point.
So
some of
put it
the some of the
off-center.
more famous ones from them are their 60, 90, and 120-minute IPAs.
And this is the off-centered art series. Is the artist or is the art that's literally on the label because their whole phrase is off-centered ales for off-centered people is their tagline.
Which is awesome.
So here's what it's got to say about the Romantic Chemistry. An Indian pale ale or India pale ale brewed with mango, apricot, and ginger. 7.2 alcohol by volume, 40 on the IBUs. It releases in February through May. Original release date was 2016. So I didn't try this last year. So this is the first time I've had this bad
Yeah,
boy.
me as well.
India Pale Ale. Dogfish Head has been brewing off-centered ales for off-centered people since 1995 with inspiration from every facet of life, the spice cabinet, music, even art. What you have here is a serious India Pale Ale shacking up and hunkering down with mango and apricots at the same time.
What? Scandal.
Not the same time.
Romantic Chemistry is brewed with an intermingling of mangoes, apricots, and ginger, and then dry hopped with 3 varieties of hops to deliver a tropical fruit aroma and a hop-forward finish. It's fruity, it's hoppy, it's tasty.
The art on the bottle, on the label, is pretty awesome. Mango and an apricot.
And it's by Mark Spusta, if I'm saying that right. Spusta, the artist there on the side.
Yeah, and they're kind of intertwined around some hop cherubs. And, and
Is
they're
that what
like,
you're calling it nowadays?
they're blowing horns, and one of them is playing Cupid, which is pretty entertaining.
That's awesome.
So good art. Good job, Mark.
And they always have cool art on their bottles and
Oh, yeah, that's a big part
labels,
of it.
yeah.
That's awesome. Good pick. Let's
All
try
right.
it out.
excited.
I even got my authentic Dogfish Head IPA glass.
Yes, you do. Nicely
So
done.
snazzy.
I have a Manchester United glass. I'm going to open up with the roster.
And I no longer have a Norway glass.
Oh, yeah. We haven't talked about that. On
In the last pod,
the one that you were actually here for.
Yeah, when we were done, I reached for the glass and knocked it over, and it bounced like 3 times and shattered. I was very, very upset about it.
That was a sad day.
Smuggled that thing back from Norway.
Allegedly.
Holy cow, this smells awesome.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Oh, man. That's purty. I got to get a
You
picture.
got a pretty glass
Picture
here.
that glass. That looks
Picture
good.
that glass.
You got a pretty mouth.
Well, that's
What?
a,
What was
that's
that
a,
from?
well,
What was
that's
it? Where's
from
it from?
Deliverance.
Is it?
Yeah. That's from
I knew
our
it was from something.
that's from other podcast, Backwood Lovin'. Debuts on Valentine's Day next year. It's gonna take a long time for us to prep that one up.
Backwood.
Damn it, we've already started.
I was going to call it hardwood lovin'. Whoa.
Oh man, the pod is already there.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Well,
Let's
you
try
know,
this thing.
Shenanigans have
we'll
already
try
off
not
to
to start with
We haven't had a sip of beer yet.
a whole Robin Hood casting like we did last time. All right.
That was pretty darn good, though.
Yeah. And this smells fantastic. I can't wait to try this.
Slangeva,
All right.
gentlemen.
Here you go. Cheers.
Salanja.
Mm.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
good.
that is tasty.
Ooh, man.
Ooh, Nelly.
That there is mighty fine beer.
Yeah, it is.
Roses are red, roses are red. This beer has my attention. It's a great beer for Valentine's Day because it's got good head retention.
Oh, brought it back. There it is.
You managed to make retention
Yes,
rhyme.
you did. I wonder where you're going that for a second there.
Well, does that bring us to? This is actually really good beer. You
it's
know what?
really
I'm
good
terrible.
beer.
I just kind of drank it and said it's good. I didn't say much about it.
We didn't
Yeah,
talk
you
about
probably
it.
should, yeah.
But it is, as it said, it's super. It's super fruity in aroma, but not in flavor. It's not like it's a sweet syrupy thing.
Yeah. It's,
You know, you can smell the apricot and the ginger. It makes it, if you ever had an Angry Orchard ginger one, you can smell that
Yeah.
ginger on it. You smell a little bit of this, but it's not sweet like that.
And you don't have the that normal. You have a great hop profile in here, but you don't taste much of the hops.
It's
at all.
hoppy, but I'm not getting bitter.
Yeah.
like at all. Like I just get the fruity aroma off,
Right.
of it, or that citrus aroma.
It's pretty awesome.
Mango, apricots, and ginger.
It's a good mixture.
Saddle up. That's
Yeah,
good.
man. That's we're not gonna have. I'm glad that was a 6-pack because we're gonna need some more of that. Does that?
I'm sorry, did you say this was all year round?
No,
no, it
February through April.
February through April or May.
Weird.
I think is when you can find it. Or not? Yeah, they put it out for Valentine's Day.
It's solid.
That's freaking tasty. And this leads us to the next part of our show, where it's time to talk about Premier League. But since it's the Valentine's Day special, we got poems.
Like we did last year.
Yep. Did you do the poem right this time? Because last time Ferris did like a
I did like a
28 line
page.
poem.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And we're like, wait, what are you doing?
I was trying to find it.
It was.
No,
it was like,
I did it very short. It was just roses are red, violets are blue. Yada 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 yada.
that was the last year. It was the cure for insomnia.
Hey, shut up! It was an ode to Zlatan.
Yeah, that's why it was the cure for insomnia.
That's why it was amazingly.
Oh, that's
awesome.
what it was. I remember.
I think Blake is writing his right now.
Well, no. I realized that I didn't write it down, and I was getting paranoid. And I went, oh, you know what?
Yeah, I had to
I don't want
write
to
mine
stumble
down.
over this as I talk. So,
I had to write mine down.
I did mine literally right before because I remember us talking about it, and obviously I put it in the content, but I didn't. I had one kind of in my mind. I didn't write it down, so right before we sat down, I had to type it into the old computer.
So who's going to go first?
Who went first last year? You know,
I did. Because you were like, you should have had you go last.
Okay, so
I did the Sanchez one. So that
right?
yeah.
Okay, so you did that one. Then I will go first. This one because it does kind of play into that a little bit.
Awesome.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I still love Big Zlatan, but I'll take a dirty Sanchez too.
That's amazing. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. A little playoff last year.
As I'm wearing a Welcome to Sanchester United shirt. So that's why I figured I'd go first, right?
That's pretty good.
Well done.
That's pretty good. Mine. There's a flavor. There's a
flavor. What is that even?
Yeah. There's a flavor of what you're talking about is also in mine.
Okay.
All right, Ron, you or me?
I'll go. Mine is not based on the Premier League, and it's got a bit of snark to it this season.
Oh, surprise.
Ooh.
What are you trying to say? You ready?
All right.
Here we go. Me. Roses are red. Violets are blue. The MLS starts soon. Kyle Larin who?
Oh! I like it.
Wow.
Deuces.
Wow.
Oh, that's a good one, Ron.
That's a good one.
The reason that's good, if you don't know, our Orlando City Soccer Club, our local club, had a falling out with Kyle Larin over his 3-year-old antics about wanting to be traded.
And the GM did not have any sore. He did not mince words in that press conference.
It was perfect. So yeah, have a nice time in Turkey.
There it is.
There it goes. Mine returns to a familiar theme that has some recurring themes from last year to what Ferris just did. Sanchez is now a red. Olivier is a blue. Batshuayi is scoring in yellow, so I think it's Chelsea that got screwed.
Well done.
Oh, that is. You ended it very nicely. That's a good one.
What an
Oh, man.
Oh, I've been sitting on that one.
Yeah, I can tell. That is a good one.
Can we talk about that a little bit? Because that's kind of funny. He's doing great.
Oh yeah, I watched the game on Saturday, and he scored another goal, and it's just but I think it was I don't remember who I was seeing or watching or whatever that said, well, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang did that too. I think Dortmund just helps play that style that allows that speedy attacking, get in the channels type of striker, and but he's putting away his chances, and he's kind of showing Chelsea, hey, look what I can do.
Well, I will slightly skew that from the respect of it's two completely different mindsets for attacking. These two teams,
one does, one doesn't.
I mean, I can't.
The simplest of terms. Yeah.
I can't argue for a couple of games, but we've been.
Well, you guys just got out of the relegation fight because you won this last one.
Whatever. Fuck off.
Oh, just piling on.
But the attacking mindsets are slightly different, and I would argue that that he's better suited for that style of attack, and we're still kind of a clown car of attacking, so it's a little messy right now.
Speaking of clown cars, I can segue to this Arsenal-Tottenham match by saying I wish we'd have given you Lacazette and kept Olivier Giroud.
Man, he dragged so many shots wide on this.
He came in the second half as a sub, and they finally played Lacazette and Aubameyang up front together.
That looked like it would be exciting until Lacazette had the chance to actually shoot.
He had 2 chances.
Big ones.
You know what that says, though? Confidence. And he's lacking it big time.
You know who wouldn't was the lumbersexual. We should have kept him, and we sent the wrong Frenchman to Chelsea.
That could be argued now, yeah. It's 100% down to
I'm scared
confidence.
we won't get any money for him.
Or you get half of what you actually bought him for.
Yeah. You bring in Aubameyang. Well, as someone pointed out, this is proof that Arsenal should have locked up the Aubameyang thing at the beginning of the season.
A year ago. When they, what was it? Just over like a little bit that it didn't happen. Like they haggled over a little bit, and they ended up paying more for him to get him now. They should have done it then. Never gotten Lacazette. I'm not saying Lacazette's bad, but you wouldn't have this striker with a really bad confidence.
And I think going back to, my previous statement. I don't think that Lacazette has found his place in the attacking mentality of Arsenal.
Sure, he has, because he in the first half of games he has 9 goals. He has a handful of assists. I thought he played well. I know they were. I know at the January window they were itching for a big signing, but that big signing should have been a Johnny Evans or Rabbit from PSG, somebody that can play in the midfield or in the back, not somebody that's already.
We're gonna get them
front there.
We're gonna get them after this season's over.
Yeah, you keep telling.
It's all about the Europa this year. It's just that's all it's about. It's just we want to give it 2 years.
What's been your excuse for the past 3 years then?
Well, we were in Champions League prior to that. It was Europa.
But you still didn't have a midfield worth a damn.
Well, that's because Santi Cazorla can't stay healthy.
And you didn't have a defense worth a damn. And
no, we signed Petr Cech. See, and that made sense 3 years ago. I mean, it's true, but that was part of it.
That signing would have been good 10 years ago. That would have been like an awesome signing. I mean, and he's
actually
played well.
He had a really good.
He had a very good game in this.
After he come off a terrible game, he actually had a really good game in this.
He did.
Yeah. And to be honest, Tottenham should have won. Well, we should say Arsenal lost to Tottenham at I was about to say Whitehall at Wembley.
At Wembley. Yeah.
They beat Arsenal 1-0. It could have been like 4-0.
Yeah. Oh, easily. I mean,
although to be fair,
Arsenal. I mean, I was kind of out and about and was watching it on my app and listening to it on the radio, and both Talk Sport on the radio and then NBC on the TV are both saying like this is very poor from Arsenal. They haven't really played this bad all season. They've had games where they've lost and they haven't looked great, but they couldn't string a couple passes together. What's the guy's 17?
Iwobi, yeah.
He I don't think he passed anybody in the first half that was on his own team.
Iwobi coming.
That's what they said. They're like, it was like 38 something minutes in. They're like, well, I think it's his first pass. He completed to somebody in a red shirt.
Wasn't Iwobi? Did he start the match? Or did he get
yes, he did because he was Lacazette came on for him.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And the very Spursy part of this game is what you just said. Arsenal played terrible. Tottenham should have been further ahead. Like they should have locked.
Tottenham missed a ton of chances.
What felt like was going to happen was, oh my gosh, this is going to be I will almost be just as mad. There's going to be a garbage time goal for Arsenal here at the end. Like
they almost pulled off a draw in this. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
He buried those chances
because Tottenham just didn't finish them off when they could have. So it was also not a great game for Tottenham, I thought, in that respect.
I think they actually, even though their score came in the second half,
early second half, yeah.
Right? I think Tottenham's first half was actually better played than the second half was.
Agreed. Yeah.
And Arsenal came out with a bit more in the second half. I mean, they made, I don't know. I mean, there were tactical substitutions.
One thing you can say is he did try to go for it. He put in Lacazette. He put in Wilshere maybe or Ramsey or somebody.
When they got Aubameyang, it was like, I wonder if they'll try to do 2 up front.
It almost worked because they almost got a goal there at the end.
You might as well just be Liverpool from like last year with a 0 defense and score. Just go. Just go.
Liverpool the history to an extent too at times.
Well, but they've tried. I mean, yes, although they have attempted to start to pull that together, but just go for it. Just go for it, man.
Well, and Arsenal probably really wishing they had the person that Tottenham does. Harry freaking Kane, man. Wow. The goal in this was, we've seen him score a bunch of wonder goals.
So much so, I feel like you should talk about it's a good segue to your headlines you wrote.
Hold on, let me at least describe the goal. We'll go over the headlines here in a second.
I just really want to hear you sing.
No, I wrote it for you to sing.
Oh, no, bro.
I just
I don't know pop tunes very well. It's all you. I just know Christmas songs.
Yeah, I bet. No, Harry, we've seen him score a whole bunch of wonder goals from curlers to poacher, whatever. This was a center forward goal. Beautiful ball in by, I believe, Ben Davies. Kane got up and his hands were on the defender's back. I think it was Koscielny, but he didn't push him. But just jumped over top of him like Michael Jordan-esque and just got a strong head and put his neck muscles into it and just buried it. It was a striker's goal. That man's in the box anywhere. He is deadly.
Was this the game that he said you can't give me 2 chances? Because they almost gave him the header.
They gave him another header and he put it just wide.
Yeah.
Oh, in a show,
but he said that like to the camera, you can't give me 2 chances. He said something like that, yeah.
Or is that the Liverpool game because he had a penalty one missed and then he had the second one that he made?
Oh yeah, that was the one. Yeah,
that was the one that we didn't actually
chances.
cover, but the midweek game. But and then he goes to Turin yesterday and scores for Tottenham in the Champions League against Juventus. Like this dude is, wow,
not gonna be playing at Tottenham for much longer.
Probably, I would give him maybe another 2 years, and then he goes to Madrid or something.
Nah.
If they make Champions League this year, he stays. If they don't, it's debatable. But he'll go the year after that, if anything. Especially if Tottenham don't
if
win
he
anything.
doesn't feel like they make the move, I don't know, because like,
but they've made moves. They brought in Mora in the window. They haven't let go of Dele Alli. They haven't let go of Eriksson. Like,
but
do you
look at the Premier League as it is and go, can we really win the title next year?
Next year? Who knows? Who knows, to be honest with you? I mean, this year, no, but next year, who knows?
I think he's got one more year with Tottenham, and if they don't,
then he's Real Madrid's Harry Kane,
and then he's out because he's just not going to win silverware with Tottenham. Sorry, Tottenham, but you just
and they could easily end out of the Champions League this go round too.
They could, but they have 2 crucial away goals right now against.
Sorry, I meant for qualifying for next year.
Sorry, for this. Yeah, no. Currently, they drew yesterday 2-2, which they got the 2 away goals, which is big. So now they go back to Wembley. Thank you.
Yeah.
And they've been pretty solid there, especially in the Champions League. They've beaten Madrid there. They've beaten Dortmund there. They have a shot at getting past the team that went to the finals last year, right? Juventus was in, yeah. So who knows? Tottenham looking good though. They're hitting their stride right now.
Dele Alli still not doing great.
No, but he had a pretty good game. He caused some havoc. He didn't do any cheap stuff that I saw or anything, but
he had a pretty decent game.
I think Pochettino got a hold of him.
Hopefully,
like in the meantime,
time will tell. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, some players just don't clean up their act.
But that leads us to the headline of this match.
Okay,
because what you do, Ferris?
Okay, so
this is awesome.
So being Valentine's as it is. Trying to think of a nice headline theme. And this was inspired by, God, I'm stupid. Billboard's top 50 love songs of all time.
Amazing.
So we don't have 50 headlines, to be clear.
No, gosh, no. But I've taken songs, all except for one. Song titles, who sings them, so on and so forth. The top 50 list can be found on www.billboard.com. The first song was
amazing.
Oh God, do I have to sing?
You got it. This is for the Tottenham Arsenal match for the North London Derby.
What's Kane got to do with it? Who needs a goal when a draw can be broken?
Yes.
Well done.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, everybody.
Oh, it's going to get better.
That was number 30 on the top 50 list.
That was number 30 on the top. We can't do a case of Kasem.
From Radio Watford.
Top 30 on the list with What's Love Got to Do With It by Tina Turner. If you didn't guess by my glorious singing. I tried to go high there. That's brilliant.
That was amazing. Speaking of amazing, Everton wins a game.
What?
And they win it with several goals. Now that Gylfi Sigurdsson scores, the guy who was supposed to be their main man.
Yeah, pretty nice goal in this one, too.
Yeah, it's 3-1. I mean, do we start off with your headline?
Sure.
Since it's about Gylfi? Oh, that's you.
This isn't an actual singing one. This is just...
it's not? You can't make that happen?
Because I can't think of all the songs.
Isn't,
unless you can sing it.
I think I know it.
Okay, go ahead.
Do I? I hope I do. Crazy Gylfi thing called Tom.
Yeah.
Is that right?
It's crazy little thing called love, right?
By who?
Queen.
And that was number 14 on the list.
Because it would be Crazy Little Thing Called Love, right. But he made it crazy Gylfie thing called Tom.
Because Gylfie Sigurdsson scored the first goal and Tom Davies scored the third goal.
I love the stretch. These are way.
I stretched them way far on this one.
This is way more stretch than the Christmas ones.
Oh yeah, I had to stretch far and wide for these.
Wow, punchline scramble.
Gylfie thing called Tom.
Ooh.
This is a pod where I actually didn't have a beer before we started this, but it sounds like we did.
Everton shows what it's capable of, going up against Crystal Palace, who've arguably been doing pretty well of late.
Yeah.
With scores from Sigurdsson,
Mid-table match.
Yep, Nyasi, Davies, and then Crystal Palace's Milvo. I can't pronounce his last name.
Luka Milivojevic.
Luka. Good.
Nice.
Every time I hear his name, I think of the Ewoks singing at the end of Return of the Jedi.
Oh, that's what it's from. I was trying to think of what. Yeah, that's right. I think you said second scorer's name there. Nyasi. Man, quietly, he's had a very good year and has kind of almost sort of made Everton forget they don't have a number one, like real true number one up front, because he's quietly had a pretty darn good year, all things considered. I know he was sent off real early in the season for a dive, and he was the first one that got the retrospective going in and looking afterwards. And he got banned for a few games.
Yep.
But he has, I think, 7 goals on the year. But that's not terrible for an Everton team who's been struggling a little bit. That's not bad. I think the only I think Wayne Rooney has 10, and so he's second on the team in scoring. He's quietly had a very good year, and he's kind of a pacey, strong, not the most skillful, but just has a good foot, and he's played very, very well.
Everton did something that they don't normally do, and that is possess the ball. Win, but also true. But also possess the ball. They tried a lot of really good build up play, and I can't say that was the key to their success, but that's something you don't normally see from Everton. Normally they're chasing the ball forever. So this might be the light at the end of the tunnel.
As Everton, Leicester, and Burnley fight for spot 7.
And they also had, and I don't know if you guys caught this, but not in this game, but in I think the last game, the week 26 that we didn't cover. Seamus Coleman made his return to the team after the horrific leg break. Right. And honestly, I think he's helped out. I think the back four kind of has a little bit of security.
They fell apart
now.
Last year without him.
Yeah, and he can kind of bomb up and down the wings, which kind of add a little bit of a different look and kind of has the other team thinking, well, okay, this guy can kill us on the sides.
Look, Big Sam.
So
he's staring at Arsenal going, we could overcome that. We could get in Europa League.
Possible, maybe. Not probably. I don't know. But yeah, I think he it's good to see him back, because that you never want to see anybody be out for over a year with just a horrific leg break. So it's good to see the Irishman back.
Where is Santi Cazorla these days?
He's still in the Arsenal training pitch squad thing, table,
playing
whatever.
FIFA with the kids.
Good for him.
Oh, man.
He's washing towels.
Jeez. His name's come up a couple times, because I guess technically his contract is up, but they want, I don't even know.
How the hell did we get back to Arsenal already?
Because you said people that have been gone out injured for a long time.
But his wasn't because of some horrific leg break. His was muscular, or was it? Or what was it?
It was
Ankles,
bad, though, because
knees?
they had the swell. Remember how bad it swelled up? It was kind of gross.
He's now their mascot.
Yeah. He is actually wearing the Gunnersaurus outfit.
Then the Gunnersaurus would be like 4'2".
He'll probably do a way better job than Cazorla is doing.
Yeah.
All right. So that moves us on to Stoke City, Brighton Hove Albion. This game is at Stoke. 1-1.
Yeah. The best thing about this match was Brighton Hove and Albion's uniforms.
Oh, yeah, the yellow with the olive drab looks cool.
Oh, there was those, yeah. This game wasn't terrible for a 1-1. Stoke trying to crawl out of the bottom 3. Didn't quite do it. They had a shot there at the end, though. I don't know if you guys saw this.
Oh, yeah, the penalty.
The penalty.
This is actually the story of the game, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. So it was it wasn't really a penalty. I wouldn't.
No, he earned himself. He fell very quickly.
Jesse did.
Yeah, and got the penalty called with barely, if any, no contact being made.
But then he got very irate and very, you stole my toy, and wanted to take the penalty. Thought that he earned it.
Who did he think that of? Because who was going to take the penalty?
Who took the penalty was Charlie Adams.
Well, just to be fair, Jesse might have looked at him and thought it actually was his dad taking his toy.
It's true.
Charlie Adams is 78 years old and still playing in the Premier League.
So let me take
He's got flames on his walker.
Young whippersnapper, let me take this. But if you don't know, a lot of times these teams have designated penalty kick takers.
Yeah,
so in the last game, Palace had Milivojevic. He scored a handful of goals this year because he is the penalty kick taker. If he's on the field, he takes it. Charlie Adams, 75-year-old, is the penalty kick taker. He also takes a lot of their free kicks. So Jesse, knowing that, you would assume he knows that, he's in the damn team. Don't cause a scene. Don't be a little baby. Don't pull a Neymar and kick a Cavani. Or like, he's your designated penalty kick taker. Unless he comes over and gives you the ball, you go to the line and you do your thing. You benefited the team by getting the call done. Let him do his job right.
Yeah.
Well, then what happened was Charlie Adam missed or got saved, right?
It got saved, and then he missed the
follow-up because he was too slow to get there.
He wasn't too slow to get there. He was there, but the defense came sliding in from the side.
You're telling me if that was Aguero, he wouldn't have gotten there faster and scored? 100% he would have. It was a good defensive play, yes, but it was because Charlie was too slow to get there to begin with.
He did.
But either way,
got to grease the little tennis balls on the walker.
It was
I'll get there.
It was ridiculous, but it says to me that there are some problems behind the scenes too.
Well, when a team's in, what are they, 19th, minus 26 on 25 points after 27 games, I would be surprised if there's not problems.
Jesse was a jerk, but then Charlie missed it.
Which could that have gotten in Jess, or could could Jesse's antics have gotten in Charlie's head? Yeah, I mean,
you got a job, do it.
Yeah, but I mean, this is to win the game here.
Yep,
I mean, that would have
like 3 points that would have seen them clear relegation by up to 15th place.
Yeah,
and that kind of game, the way this bottom part of the table is going. Those are the games that people are going to be crying about at the end.
Yep.
Be those
big miss.
Because it's clearly going to be just a couple of points for people that are in the 18th and 19th spots.
Yeah.
That get relegated. It's going to be close.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that a little bit. But yeah
it's going to be real close. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. What was your headline for Stoke City versus Brighton Hove Albion?
This one wasn't actually on the top 50 list, but it is. Oh, good Lord. No, you got to sing one, Blake.
I'm terrible at these. I'm terrible at these.
Lies.
You're Oh, will I know if Shaqiri really loves me? That's
another Whitney Houston tune.
It's a Whitney Houston song. It's How Will I Know. It's not actually on the list, but Whitney will appear later in the list. It's How will I know if Shaqiri really loves me. And I believe it's How Will I Know if he really loves me is the actual lyrics to the song. But Shaqiri scored in this, and then Brighton and Hove out. I stretched far.
Yeah, it's all right. All of them did.
Shaqiri, arguably the best player the whole game.
And a lovely goal by him on this one.
Yeah. Breaks free, curls it right in. Really nice.
Now, on to the next bottom club. Swansea City goes against Burnley, and Swansea gets 3 more points. They're now out of relegation at 15th.
Wow.
And Burnley
still struggling. Although at this point, I don't know if losing to Swansea says you're struggling because they have turned a corner. To me, you know what? This is the first time it just wasn't shocking that
Swansea has a little bit of momentum going here, and they just parlayed it into this game, and they now sit 1 point above the relegation zone. I mean, they've gotten a handful of points here in the last couple of games. And
what is it? Something like 10 points? I forget what the stat is, but it's a tremendous amount of points in their last 4 games.
Yeah, they've won 2 or 3, and then they've drawn the other. So that's at least 10 points there. Yeah. So I mean, and they're only on a -17. Now that's not good, but look at Huddersfield on a -24. West Brom on -19, Stoke City -26 are all teams below them.
Well, if I'm looking
it could come down to that at the end of the year.
And if you're looking at 14th and down, it's Swansea would be the team I don't want to play. They're the ones that
have some decent momentum.
They've got the form. They've had the better form currently right now. If you had to play them tomorrow, that would not be who I'd want to play out of that pack,
especially at home, too. Their home form has been very well.
Burnley is obviously not doing well. In their past 5 matches, they have 3 losses, 2 draws. And in the table, they are at 36 points. Leicester is at 35 and Everton's at 34. So if Burnley lose next week and either of those teams win, they're going to get knocked down 1 to 2 places in the table. So Burnley has got to stop the bleeding.
I mean, they're fine. They're not in a relegation
danger
situation, but
but they were doing so well, hovering in that 4th, 5th, 6th spot.
Yeah, they only need
5th, 6th spot.
Yeah, but they really looked they were making a push for the Europe.
Yeah,
and that's not on the table at this point.
Yeah, that's probably not happening at this point.
I mean, right now, it's Arsenal loves Burnley's slide because it probably helps ensure that they can stay.
Yeah, they have a 9-point cushion.
Yeah, and then that's kind of Burnley starts the teams off from 7th and below that are all on some sort of minus goal difference there.
Oh wow, this headline.
This one has to be you.
Okay. This is the Swansea Burnley headline. Ooh, I want to dance with Swansea. I want to feel the heat with Swansea. Yes, I want to dance with Swansea who loves me. I don't know. Is that good?
Yeah, that's what Ooh, I want to dance with Swansea. Yeah, that's it. Well, Whitney again, baby.
Oh, my God. I think this is all Whitney.
No, this is the last Whitney song. But this one was actually on the countdown. It was I Want to Dance with Somebody. Number 25 on the countdown.
Your best one is the next one, which
really?
is...
I thought that one was pretty damn good. I was singing that one all night.
The next one, it just brings the Top Gun feelings out.
It does. Right. It does. You'll be surprised where this song actually ended on the top 50 list there, though, because I was very surprised.
That's our new podcast after this.
Top 50 Billboard hits
of 1920 or 1982. We're just going to work our way through the years. We'll go through it.
This date in 1950.
So West Ham at home against Watford. Watford loses again. Shocker. West Ham wins, which is probably also a shocker because they've struggled here and there. But Watford, man, forget Burnley's slide. That's way worse.
Yeah, because they were up there in that 7th, 8th place as well. Yeah,
it was Burnley and Watford. You were thinking, like, holy cow, man. Because there was a time when it looked like the Tottenham and Arsenal were going to have to really fight.
Yeah, to keep Burnley. And I mean, that was real early in the season, but Watford probably not in any trouble, but I mean they're only 4 points off the bottom. That's 2 games there, and they're sitting in 11th, so they could take a slide.
They aren't winning, man.
They're just not looking good. They're not looking.
No,
I mean they beat Chelsea 2 weeks back there.
Yeah,
which that was a good win for them. A little bit of help getting a guy sent off late in the second half there, but
2 draws, 2 losses, and a win in their last 5.
Yeah, not great, not terrible.
But you know what? Hey, cool. It's great you beat Chelsea. These are the games you have to win.
Yeah, you don't expect to beat Chelsea, but then the West Hams, who haven't had the best of years, I mean, yeah. And in Watford, it technically is still above West Ham in the table still, only on goal difference.
West Ham closed that down a bit in this match by getting a clean sheet on them.
Sure did.
And hey, isn't this... like Chicharito's first Premier League goal? It feels like it.
No, it feels like it, but no, he's had a handful.
He's had I
just mean the drought he's been on.
He scored a few weeks back, maybe.
There was a big drought. I feel like that one was the first one in a bit.
The one before this was the first one in a bit. That was the poacher goal. That was a long. Yes, correct. That was. I don't remember who that was against, but.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's say, but West Ham. It's really more about Watford just being on a constant slide, and you gotta give it to me, Ferris. This headline is great. Dig deep for that Top Gun feeling.
I can't. I feel like this is right up your alley in terms of. You never
Watford
closed your eyes. That's all.
Watford lost that silver feeling.
Oh, that silver feeling.
Back it up, Goose. Oh, too soon. Oh. That just made me very happy.
It's gone.
Whoa. Other podcast.
That song.
Acapella Apocalypse. That will be our another podcast.
You've guessed it, ladies and gentlemen. You've lost that love and feeling by the Righteous Brothers, coming in at number 45.
Oh, where did
way too high?
45?
Way too low. Wow.
45. It was almost in the relegation zone.
What was the number one?
We'll get to that. That is actually on here. Not necessarily the song, but who helped sing the song. Real quick, you'll get to it. We'll figure it out. What was it? We were looking at Chicharito Hernandez on I think 7 goals this year so far, but there was that. Yeah, that was that long drought of him not scoring from about November to January or something like that.
He got stealth goals. Because I did not really think
goals. I
never really thought he scored that many.
They were
so
no
far.
highlight goals.
No,
they were just those kind of poacher goals, like you're right within the box. Like speaking of droughts, my beer's empty.
Man, this beer is good. Got me in a singing mood tonight.
Yeah, this thing is delicious. Again, for those of you just joining, which would be weird because it's digitally recorded.
Well, unless you're listening to All In Sports Talk.
Oh, it's true. The All In Sports Talk. I keep forgetting we do kind of get played, not live, but recorded live in front of a studio. I don't know how that works.
Studio audience here now?
Yeah. Where'd those guys go? But this Romantic Chemistry IPA is delicious.
It is real good.
So good.
A solid IPA if you're an IPA fan.
I had real quick, and I forgot to post it. And I need to. Yes, please.
I'm all right for the moment.
I was at a Tampa Bay Lightning hockey game over the weekend.
Gracias.
And watching one of my favorite athletes of all time, Mr. Vinny LeCavier, get his jersey retired up into the rafters. But I finally tried the Big Storm 25th anniversary Tampa Bay Lightning brew that they had. It was real good. Just refreshing, real light. Only sitting at like 4%, but just a good just sipping there, watching some hockey beer, man. It was real good. So I know we've had Big Storm on the pod before, and shout out to them doing that with the Tampa Bay team, and it was fantastic.
There's a super local brew that we should hit up soon. Just because today they had a special, and if I could have gotten out of work early because they're close to where we work, I would have gone there and done this instead, but I found out about it too late. But for Valentine's Day, they were brewing a special beer, the Dead Lizard Brewing.
Oh, right.
It's over there.
Yeah.
They're a new brewery that's opened in Orlando.
Real
Small
good.
place.
A lot of fun to go to, though.
But they were doing a $15 specialty 32-ounce growler of this Valentine beer, and I was like, oh man.
I wish you would have told me because I live 2 minutes from there. I could have picked it up on the way here.
But that's one. But we got to make sure we haven't done that yet. But maybe a couple places that don't necessarily distribute yet, but get their name out there. We'll do some growlers and stuff.
Them and another one that just I don't know. It's 2 months old. Is over by the Orlando International Airport.
Oh, Ellipsis Brewing. The people that
they
we
finally opened. Yeah.
we saw at the Orlando Beer Festival.
Cool dudes. Yeah.
They just opened.
Yeah, we need to go visit that joint.
100%.
Oh man, this beer is so good smelling. It's Romantic Chemistry. Oh my gosh, it's good. All right, moving on to good grief, Man City versus Leicester City at home.
Wasn't even a contest.
Man, boy,
For a very short period of time.
I am so glad I picked up Aguero and made him my captain in fantasy.
Oh, I'm getting smoke showed in fantasy. I'm down to 4th all of a sudden.
Yeah, man.
I think a couple of people had Aguero as the captain. A couple people had De Bruyne. Whew. I have De Bruyne, but I didn't have him as my captain.
Yeah, he was on fire. He thought he'd do another hat trick and then an extra one.
Just for good measure.
Sterling gets one in. I mean, Man City just looks like Man City. They look great.
5-1.
They look polished. Kevin De Bruyne is
ridiculous.
Is he the best player?
He had 4 assists in this, right?
Is that the official best player in the Premier League right
100%.
now?
Yep.
Like, without a doubt.
I
can't argue that at all.
Without question.
How long is he there?
Unfortunately.
He just signed a contract extension. That was one of their big signings in January. He signed like a 5-year extension or something, which is fantastic.
I don't think De Bruyne will get the actual recognition he deserves because they're always going to go for some guy who's scored goals more. But I really think De Bruyne has been singular in setting up and running that team.
With him on that club, Pep, and who they have surrounding him, obviously, this feels like the first Premier League team that can make a Champions League push further than anyone has.
And they
in
just
a
beat
while.
Basel yesterday 4 or 5-0.
Yeah.
Away, too, I believe. But De Bruyne, I disagree. I think you're going to see him get PFA Player of the Year this year. I really do. I think he's one of the top odds to get it. And you've seen who got it last year? He now plays for you guys. N'Golo Kante got it last year, and he doesn't score a lot of goals. So I think
Did Conte get it last year?
Yeah, N'Golo Kante.
I think the English media really like De Bruyne, and
They
I think
love
you could
him,
see him because he leads the league in assists by far.
His
right now.
early crosses are just pinpoint.
Yeah, I don't want to knock Aguero. I think any team would take Aguero, but if you have Kevin De Bruyne servicing you, you should be getting hat tricks. I mean, like, it's just crazy.
He's an all-around midfielder.
Yep.
He's box to box. He sees the field very well. He plays with such ease. I think it was either Lee Dixon or what's the other guy on it? Lee Dixon.
Graham Lasso or
Yes.
Yeah.
It was one of those that were saying, you watch how he plays, and he just plays like, not that he's not bothered, but that he's just so calm, cool. He doesn't let a lot get to him.
he's like a samurai out there, man. He's just like,
but he
business.
plays with such a high, he's all over the pitch. He plays wonderful balls. He sees the field well. He moves up and down. He never looks tired, like just boom, boom, boom. But he does it with such just a good demeanor and always kind of smiling, like just, man, he's fun to watch.
Where are we sitting at right now in the Champions League?
We just started the first round of knockout stages, and we've only played 4 games. They split it up, so like United play next week opposed to all teams play in 1 week. So yesterday was Man City and Basel, and Man City won 4-0. I don't remember if it was away or I think it was away. Juventus and Tottenham, who we talked about earlier, tied 2-2. I haven't seen the scores today, but I believe Madrid won 3-1 against PSG.
That is correct.
And then Liverpool, I didn't see that score. Did you see
But
that
Man
score?
City does.
Liverpool win.
Did they? They're playing FC Porto, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah. So those are the first rounds. They do 2 legs.
But they
and then
do.
we
Man
draw
City
again.
feels like a Premier League team that could really throw down.
Liverpool
Yeah, I agree.
Champions League.
Liverpool put 5 past Porto today.
Sure they did. Of course they did.
Man, Klopp was on fire. It was really hard, by the way, to not do a poem about Klopp. I kept trying. I kept working on one, but I liked mine, and I could.
You Liverpool fans out there, I'm sure you can think of one. I'm looking
Yeah.
at you, Tony. Sound good to Mr. Horn.
Or 6.
They what? They scored 6?
No.
Oh.
Or 6 poems.
Oh yeah.
I don't know this one. Your headline, I mean, for this Man City versus Leicester.
This one was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I'm not really. I don't really know how to sing that one.
You wrote it.
I did. Okay, let's do it the opposite way. So this was "Don't Let Go" by In Vogue,
Okay.
right? From the 90s, and it was. Oh, I'd have to hear the song and then try it. That's how I was doing it last night. Oh, Aguero let go. It was tight, and Aguero let go. Listen to the damn
Sounds
song.
really
folks.
dirty
I
when you
don't-
put it that
Yeah,
way.
it was like it was. It was number 43 on the list.
Unlike-
Don't Let Go In Vogue. I guarantee if you hear the song, you're like, oh, I remember that from the
Unlike Man
90s,
City,
but
they can't all be
Don't you
winners.
wanna- yeah, something like that. That's all I got. But I could get it. Aguero let go 4 goals. It was tight because the game was a little bit tight until Aguero let go again. It's
Because
totally
Vardy,
tight. It's
Vardy got to go.
Vardy got a goal. It was. Somebody else talk. Let me try to find the damn lyrics for this.
It's okay. I believe you.
Well, I want to give like what the actual so that makes somewhat sense to people out.
Well, I'll move on to our next match with Huddersfield Bournemouth, where Huddersfield was on fire.
Man.
And at home, just whipped up on Bournemouth 4-1.
Hold me tight and don't let go. Don't let go. Have the right to lose control. Don't let go. There you go. In vogue, everybody.
Do you feel better?
Number 43. I'm down on this week's countdown. Back to you.
Back to Huddersfield, Bournemouth. Yeah, 4-1. Wow, Huddersfield just tore it up, man.
Good for them because they've been on a skid as of late.
And Bournemouth had just beat Chelsea.
Correct.
3-0 and then lose to Huddersfield.
And they beat somebody the week before that, too. They were on like a 2-game streak because it kind of propelled them up the table there a bit.
Yeah, because Bournemouth currently sitting, where are they at right now? At 10th, which they've been hovering around that smack in the middle there.
And two of the goals for Huddersfield, one was an own goal, and then the other was a really dumb penalty at the end of stoppage time.
I am looking at your headline.
I know this one.
So,
do you know it?
Okay.
Oh yeah, because
I tied in a little bit of the.
Once you realize what movie it's from, you're going to be like, "Oh, of course, Ron knows what this is."
So hit it, Ron. What's the headline?
I got to sing it.
Yeah.
You called it out like that.
So one of my favorite trilogies of all time is what this is most famous from. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I think it's making sense to me now.
Here we go. It's strong and it's sudden and it's cruel sometimes, but it might just save their Premier League lives. That's the power of goals.
Yeah.
Power of love. Okay. Huey Lewis of the news, baby.
Power of love.
Gosh. Yep.
Coming in at number 36 on the countdown. Love Huey Lewis of the news.
Amazing.
Oh my God.
Power of love. Oh, the music video is great, man. God, I love these songs.
Yeah, so it was in Back to the Future, and
oh man,
it was actually written specifically for that, right? If I remember.
And since I'm a science nerd, it's my favorite trilogy.
Miles per hour.
What's a gigawatt?
Great Scott. It's a shame there's no one named Scott to talk about. So next match.
You want me to?
Roses are red. This is off the top of the noggin.
Okay.
We'll freestyle it. Violets are blue. If you get good players and they're under Mourinho, you're still screwed. Oh!
Yeah, okay.
Because Lukaku, who?
Yeah.
Oh, big time in this
Still.
game. Yeah.
Pogba, what?
Pogba got pulled off again in this game.
Sancho, what?
He had a decent.
He had
one move that I thought he was going to score, and it was going to be.
Yeah, but you know what? Nothing. They lose to Newcastle. Rafa Benitez was, to be honest, he outcoached Mourinho in this game.
Yeah,
I don't know if he outcoached. I think the players definitely outplayed the Man United players, and then they definitely defended a hell of a lot.
And Matt Ritchie gets his first Premier League goal this year.
Yeah, very.
The Newcastle
very
defense, you have got to give it to them. Their
100%.
midfield and their defense.
Yeah,
100%.
But that's what I'm saying. Benitez Mourinho'd Mourinho. That is how Mourinho wins championships.
It's kind of
He just wants one goal and then he'll just lock everything down.
He certainly did that with Chelsea.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He did that was
he'll
how
lock everything
he did
down
it.
and then kind of counter in the second half, which is what we've done most of the season, and get that like it's one goal until like the 88th minute, and then all of a sudden it's 4-0, and you're like, well, how the hell did that happen? But yeah.
Also, Manchester United's kind of thing of late has been having a mediocre at best first half and then finding honest, good ways to win in the second half, and not in this one.
The second half was better from United. The first half was woeful. Second half was better.
But Newcastle's defense was on that second half.
Newcastle's defense was better than that. And the goal kind of came off of a freaking Chris Smalling. Just a complete dive. Just not even called for, like midfield, and just got shot by a sniper somewhere and just fell square over.
Whoever hit Louis Van Gaal got him.
Yeah, but it was like a worse sniper shot. Like it wasn't like dead mass. It was like hit him in the shoulder and just kind of like, oh man, terrible. So they got a free kick off of it, and United marking off the free kick was non-existent and just let it in and missed. Richie was kind of hanging out above the half circle there, and just ball got played off of a head, down, and a good pass across, and Richie just slotted it home, and United couldn't do anything. I mean,
I like Matt Ritchie. I'm glad to see him.
I agree. And it kind of brings up the debate you were talking earlier about the Newcastle midfield. Who's the ball guy for them? Had a great game. Newcastle. England national. They always get sent off.
Yes, he's like a ruffian.
Ron, you know who I'm talking? He used to not Skirtle. I'm thinking.
Shelby.
Shelby. Yes. Shelby. He had a great game for them.
Samsonite,
way off. But he had a great game, and then Pogba got pulled off, and it keeps bringing up the debate: is why is Pogba having to play this defensive role where he's an attacking midfielder? Why doesn't Mourinho just change it?
He had played was up left. That's Sanchez.
And here's who?
Pogba.
No, he never played up left. He just played in a more attacking role. Kind of played that number 9 or number 8 role there.
But he was constantly. I see why Blake thinks that. Yeah, he's constantly floating up there.
Oh yes, yeah. That's kind of and
if you've got Sanchez, I don't like. You need someone who's going to sit back more.
But in fairness to Mourinho, this is kind of how they played all year. It's kind of been Matic holding that down, and then a Pogba, Mkhitaryan at the time midfield. So not a whole lot changed.
I think that's what you missed in this game was Mata,
which he came on in the second half, and he came on for somebody that I've been saying I think he should be dropped to the bench is Lingard.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't think Lingard provides enough of midfield coverage. He's just more of a winger converted into a center attacking midfielder.
You know what you guys need,
in my opinion. And he doesn't allow Pogba like he doesn't allow Pogba to have that full range. But I also think Pogba is just kind of low on confidence as well. So I think that has something to do with it too. But I would like to see a Matic Herrera midfield and then allow Pogba to play where Lingard's playing. Shoot Sanchez, Martial, and Lukaku up front. I think you could see that work a little bit better.
Where did Mata come from?
Chelsea.
Right. So let me ask you something.
Sure.
Is the great one not that great? Because he inherited Mata, who he got rid of at Chelsea. He had to buy back Lukaku, which I realized was, a different situation. But De Bruyne was someone that he let go. There's a lot of great players out there that Mourinho, when it comes to, this is the complaint at Chelsea, like cultivating the young talent, whatever that he let slip away. Well. And so now you got a Man U that I don't like.
Well, I think the best term for Manchester United at the moment is dysfunctional.
But that's Jose. That's Jose on year 3 usually. This is year 2 for him. That's Jose year 3.
Well, there were a lot of comparisons I heard in the British media. Was year 3 when he pissed off Hazard, right? Mm-hmm. And he did that thing. This is kind of what he's doing to Pogba. Maybe I don't feel like that's quite the case, but I do feel like I don't blame Mourinho 100% for the misses out on Salah and Lukaku and De Bruyne, because Chelsea historically, I think we covered on one of the last pods, is they loan out 40 players a year.
Sure.
So there's only a certain number that can get in that squad. And at the time, they had Lampard and Cahill and Fernando Torres and Costa. So not everybody's going to get into the squad. And if De Bruyne's real young, I think going over and playing in the Bundesliga really helped him. And helped when you're playing a constant run of games and you're playing well, you build confidence. So you're doing that very well over there, and then you come into a Man City team who has cultivated that kind of attacking style, and you're getting, again, a constant run of games. He's showing his full potential now, right? At Chelsea, if you're being loaned and you're kind of on the bench coming on, they loan off so many players. They got tired of doing that with Salah.
But you also said it too with Salah, too, I forgot. Yeah, but an attacking style of play that Jose Mourinho doesn't play.
True.
But I would say that the Man U squad is set up to play like if you gave Klopp this squad, I think it'd be a very different story than what Jose Mourinho is doing.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I think everybody, I don't know. I think everybody's kind of a little bit confused. And Sanchez is playing in the right spot, but I don't think Lingard should be playing there. That should be Mata or a Herrera to then push Pogba up, in my opinion. I think that just allows people to play more in their natural positions.
I also think Lukaku's pretty much been a waste.
Well, and Lukaku was amazingly scoring all these goals for Everton, but man, not in the games they needed it the most when it mattered.
Which is his MO.
Yeah.
You know, he's doing the same thing here at Manchester United, but I would argue that he's doing the same performance that he did at Everton here.
This game was bad from him, but because he hasn't scored a lot of goals.
This game?
Yeah, but because he hasn't scored a lot of goals doesn't necessarily mean he's been playing bad. What was in the Tottenham game? He didn't score in the Tottenham game. That's a big game. It was the first game with Tottenham. But he had a lovely flick on to allow Martial to get in. So he's held the ball up at times well. He's played in well. Has he been great this year? To what is the expectation? No. But I think he's played very solid. Is he worth the cost? Well, you can ask that of a lot of players. Is a lot of people worth the cost? Is Coutinho worth the $140 million?
I don't think anyone's asking that of Lukaku, though, because Pogba's on the squad. And as long as you have Pogba on the squad, the question of is it worth the cost, I think, is larger on Pogba.
Yes. Yes, agreed. And Pogba has that potential. If his confidence gets back and he plays the way that we've seen him play at Juventus, he can be a outstanding
Pogba feels to me, though,
he's not there right now.
He feels like a player.
There's something not right.
Jose or whatever and him don't get along, and Pogba goes somewhere else and is a superstar.
He was a superstar when he was brought in.
I know, but he's fading away right now is what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he's going to want to keep playing. Then Mourinho is going to bench him. I don't know, man. This is weird.
And with all that being said, United are still second in the table. So, I mean,
sure.
The gap's closed with Liverpool 2 points behind them. Now, there's still a better goal difference where Liverpool's scoring all these goals, but now our defense is better at times, not necessarily with Smalling flopping and Jones scoring into his own net, but our defense has been, on a large part, especially at home, better. So, here's the thing.
It's not time to panic.
No.
However, it is the first glimpse of the writing on the wall for the Mourinho effect on a team.
We've seen it happen before. That's the thing. It's happened several times before, and you just see it coming. And usually it's the third year. I don't know.
Well, he just signed an extension, so he's going to, in theory, get more than that. But we all know that extensions.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't leave the Premier League because I want some more of the Masterpiece Theater Mourinho puppet hour.
Well, where does he go? He's only going to go in the top 6.
I think a talk was PSG, probably.
Oh, well, that would make sense.
Yeah. Don't leave us.
But as long as United finish in the top 4, I'm fine. And in what order? I prefer to be in the top 3 because then we don't have to qualify into the Champions League in that 4th spot. We make a good Champions League run. We have Sevilla next week to start off the knockout stages and make a good FA Cup run, which we're still in. I think we have Huddersfield on Saturday. If we make good runs in those and get 4th or get 3rd, I'm fine with that. Because City at this point, I think everybody's known that for a while. They're kind of long gone. Just finish in the top 4 and get in the Champions League again.
I would just make the argument of the top 4 or the 3 below Man City, Man U, Liverpool, and Chelsea. If you ask me which coach, Conte, Jose, or Klopp, had a better shot, we'll open it down to Tottenham and go Pochettino, has a chance to go make a run next year against if Man City puts its team together as well. I don't think I put Jose Mourinho in that.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
He's done it before. He can win.
But he's losing his players so quick already.
Conte, Lord knows if he'll be at the club next year. Pochettino's not quite there yet. Klopp had glimpses of it at Dortmund, but unless he plays a different style of ball where they shore up the defense a little bit more, he's going to continue to play that attacking and just leave his teams open at the back. So, who knows? It could be past, we could see the downswing of the Mourinho years here, and it could be that. But I think he has to be up there.
I think it all depends if he loses those players, which feels like he's losing them. And then the people who...
Does that mean that what's his name? Gus Hiddich is sitting there
Right.
he's sitting there like, wonder if I'm going to coach Man United.
Lord only knows who that. I mean, if it,
he's probably coming back to Chelsea at some point.
Things,
too.
things would have to turn south real bad. Like we'd have to finish out of the top 4, and we'd have to get knocked out for on Saturday, and get knocked out for things would have to turn real bad for Mourinho not to be there at the end of the year, and then from that point, good Lord, I mean, who do we go with then? Ancelotti maybe? But I'm not. That shouldn't be anybody's thought at the current time.
I'll bet you a Moo Thunder for over next season. I don't know. I don't know with them apples. I don't think you've got the faith to take the Moo Thunder test.
Not again. No, not right now. I have to have something a little bit more
He's
stronger.
still scarred from the last one.
Oh, we did the power of goals. We did that one. Newcastle. Oh, I don't know. I don't get
all
this.
right. So
your headline.
Let me. Okay, so number 1 on the top 50 list was "Endless Love" by Diana Ross and Lionel Richie.
Oh, so this
1-0 Richie, Matt Ritchie. One, not the best one, I know. It was a play on Lionel Richie, 1-0 Richie.
1-0 Richie.
Yeah. It was just who sung the song now. Come on, I had to pull a lot out on these.
You've been doing just fine.
Matt Ritchie's okay.
Well, then you got to do the next one, which is Southampton, Liverpool.
I'm not doing Liverpool one.
Yeah. You got to do
it,
it.
but I'm not doing it.
It's
You got to do it. You got to do it.
We'll have dead air for here a little bit. Nope, not happening.
You got to do it.
Can we do it as a collective group?
Sure. No, we did the last one as a collective group.
We're gonna do. We are gonna do that one as last. Well, we'll do the last 2 as a group. Let's make it a family environment here on Valentine's Day.
Southampton 0, Liverpool 2. Liverpool visiting Southampton. They lose, which is not a shocker.
Firmino and Salah.
What's your song?
I just called to Salah. I love you.
See, you did good. That was good.
Liverpool fans.
That was wonderful.
What a player Salah is. Yeah, I had to throw it in there. That one was, if you don't know from my beautiful singing pipes here, I just called to say I love you by Stevie Wonder, and that came in at number 38.
Salah is awesome, though.
Beautiful.
And that goal was amazing.
Egyptian, holy crap. I don't think we covered the week 26 games where he had that amazing weaving ball control goal against Tottenham.
Correct.
Yeah, he is, he is phenomenal right now.
He's got so much confidence. You can tell that he, out of most of the players that are good, confident, and scoring goals, Salah looks like he's having the most fun of any of those people.
Yeah. He looks like he's having a blast, man.
Yeah.
Actually, those are the kind of players you want to see on a club,
Right.
because he feels like he fits in that so well. Just pure, unabashed fun playing the game.
Unabashed, good word. That's a key word right there.
Man, he's great. I mean,
just gorgeous.
What was Katie Nolan, who used to host Garbage Time? Now she's on ESPN. Hers was Roses is Red. Roses are red.
That'll cost you $1.
They look real pretty, but not as much as that goal from Mo Salah or something like that.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
I wanted just to keep the song that the Liverpool fan sung, but it wasn't on the top.
So hers was Roses are red. That'll cost you $1, but won't be as pretty as that goal by Mo Salah.
That's a good one.
Which was awesome.
Your microphone's about to fall off there, Ferris. I think you want to tighten that up. It's about to be a very funny.
All the singing I'm doing here.
Yeah, you're melting the microphone.
Careful. That would have been loud.
That would have been super loud. We'd have been ordering a new microphone real quick.
Okay, that's a
little better for you there.
A little bit better. It's still. We'll figure that out.
You still got a floppy mic.
Yeah.
Hate when that happens.
More
nickel.
Happens to every guy.
All right, moving on to Chelsea, West Brom. Chelsea moves out of the relegation zone by scoring 3 goals against West Brom. I joke they're at home. I say that because people were talking like it was done.
And Ron, you should have took me up on my bet. I thought if they lost to Watford, that Conte would have been in a job, and I'll be damned, he survived that.
I will say, if he had lost this one, I think he would have been to West Brom.
He's pretty close.
He's still got
He's still pushing the board too.
He's still got a bit of rope to hang himself. And the reason is because the people love him more than almost any manager Chelsea has ever had. And Conte is being really smart in how he voices his displeasure to the board. So
is he being smart? I think it's kind of obvious that
he's not pulling like a Mourinho or where he's being real vocal.
He's not flipping tables. Yeah. He's just simply putting out there, these are the things I expect. This is the professionalism and the level that I think Chelsea should be playing at. And these are my decisions. If the board doesn't want to do that, then that's on the board.
But saying in his accent and with that hair, I mean, everybody's.
But he's not
the glass of fine Italian wine.
Exactly.
It'd be different if he was going, the board is f***ing up. The board's doing this and they're totally screwing me and it's not fair. They don't care. He's not doing any of that. He's handling it with a lot of class and he's just simply stating the fact and he's not getting emotional about it. And that coupled with how much the fans really, really like Conte is why he's still got rope.
But I will say this. It does not bode well that West Brom is dead last. They're terrible run of form. Negative 19 goal differential with 20 points. 5 points below the team just above them.
And
the reason I say this is what does not bode well is that Chelsea wins against West Brom 3-0 and it feels like a big win as opposed to an obvious win.
I don't think it doesn't feel like a big win.
It was just kind of
after the last couple of games.
No, I think it's like, okay, finally we have our stride back. I don't think it's I don't think it's like, oh my God, we won. It's not that at all.
I disagree. I think it does because a lot of people were like Fair said. They thought that Conte was done after Watford and they thought for sure he'd be done after this. So it feels like a big win because they were convinced that he would not have a job if they also fell to West Brom.
That's mostly people that don't like Chelsea, not the fans. When the fans are like, oh my God, this was huge, then we have something to worry about. But most of the people that don't like Chelsea, like this face over here.
Oh,
you're welcome.
Name calling here. I never said I don't like Chelsea. I don't like Liverpool, but I don't think I don't like Chelsea. I don't like Man City more. I mean,
I would disagree.
I poke fun at them because they're one of the top 4-6 teams and we're friends, and that's what we do.
You still want to be Chelsea going to West Brom saying this is a must-win game, maybe, because if I don't, my coach gets fired.
I still don't think he was going to get fired.
Oh, dude, if they had lost after the Watford,
I thought it was after. Done. Well, no, they did lose after the Watford, and he didn't get fired. If they would have lost after this game,
done. They'd have been out. They'd have been out for blood.
Nope. A lot has to go south and down the drain quickly if he's going to get canned this year.
I think he won't be Chelsea's coach next year, though.
That's entirely possible. But
especially if they end up out of the top 4.
Yeah,
he's not.
Which I think right now, looking at the top 6, I would say Man City, United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal. I think Chelsea and Arsenal are the ones that finished out of the top 4.
Yeah, I don't see Tottenham not finishing in the top 4.
No, I think we trade places. I think it ends where it is now. Chelsea at 4 and Tottenham at 5, or Tottenham at 6. I think the Arsenal has a lot of ground to make up to jump
they're going to
Tottenham,
stay.
but
yeah,
I think it's going to end up pretty close to the way it is here. I mean, you could also swap Liverpool and Chelsea for 3rd and 4th, and that really just depends on.
Could swap United for Chelsea as well. I mean,
they're all pretty close.
Yeah.
So
your song for this one, your headline song for the Chelsea West Brom.
I don't know this one.
I don't know this either.
Yeah, you do.
Right?
Ron, I thought you said you did know this one, didn't you?
No.
I don't. I can't figure out what song this is.
Yeah, I can't either.
So you got to sing it.
You both know damn well what it is.
You got to finish us out on the Valentine's Day.
Ron's team. It's Chelsea.
No,
yeah, but it's yours.
I don't even know the song.
Eden love, my Eden love. I need, oh, how I need your love.
I still don't know this.
Oh, it's Baby Love.
Baby Love.
That's what it is.
Love, Eden. I don't.
Eden love, need you how I need you.
Yeah.
That's a pretty. That was That was stretching.
Yes, that was the last
Which one of those was number one?
Okay, so that was Baby Love by the Supremes. That was 49. The Lionel Richie was the first song. It was on the countdown. It was number one. It was Endless Love, Diana Ross, and Lionel.
That's really the first?
I know.
Watford Lost.
Well, they had a Rihanna and Calvin Harris song at like number 3.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, oh man, like you've lost that little love and feeling. We were belting that to the high, and that's 45. Are you nuts?
Apparently.
Anyways,
that pretty much wraps us out of the Premier League information.
I can't believe for love songs, everything I do it for you wasn't on there after our Robin Hood episode.
Yeah, I don't know if it was on there or not. There was some songs that I didn't recognize. It may have been. I don't know.
Well, you did a good job.
Nice work, buddy.
I actually appreciate the stretching. I think it's funnier when you stretch. This moves us over real quick to the United States Soccer Federation had their presidential election here in Orlando, actually.
Right here in Orlando.
Over by SeaWorld, right?
And which is funny because you know what? That was a Mickey Mouse clown shoe show that I saw there.
Oh, man.
So
God, that was funny.
We're watching Premier League Stoke. Was it the Stoke match you're watching?
Yeah, it was
we're watching the Stoke match.
Yeah.
And then we cut on the YouTube live feed or whatever the live feed was for this presidential election.
Live too, yeah.
And it was like my mom asking for IT help.
Hey, Bill, and you click send, you have to get a confirmation. And then
no, you don't. Sunil's like, look, you have to click send. Bob's like, no, you don't. Just push the button. Well, and then Sunil's face is like, I mean, to be honest,
were they across the room or where were they?
So they were on separate ends of the ballroom.
Why?
Because that's where all the voting tech was.
And
if
you didn't watch, they voted with live. They had these little keypads. Long story short, the first vote failed miserably because like 150 votes didn't get counted because it wasn't done correctly.
They had to redo it before they even published the first result.
And it was two old men up there arguing with each other about how to do it
and making faces at each other, which is entirely funny because this is 100% indicative of how U.S. soccer is run.
Yeah.
We have all this tech so that we can vote, and we don't even test it out fully before and have honest operating instructions for the people who are about to vote.
I was waiting for somebody to be like, well, why wasn't the Chad punched?
Yeah.
I was waiting for, we're in Florida, why not?
The best
make
part
that joke.
was,
Sunil, help us out, because he was making jokes up there. Why didn't you use the Chad joke?
The best part was the comedy of Twitter during this whole thing.
Twitter was brilliant during this.
Sunil had one good one-liner.
If Sunil could have run again at the moment, I think he'd have won.
Yeah, possibly.
Because he was being way more personable, and he actually was right about the technology and everything. He knew what was going on, and you were like, and then you know what? Maybe that is a glimpse into things where you almost feel like Sunil's subconscious is looking at the world going, see guys, you all think it's me? These are the idiots that I'm surrounded by. Bob over here.
Oh, Bob, whatever.
Yeah. But this is what I'm surrounded by. I could only do what I could do with what I have. I don't know how true that is, but it certainly makes me I can't just lay a bunch of blame at Sunil Gulati's feet. Like watching that whole thing, like you said, it is indicative of the situation. Also, like the interest groups that voted. I mean, when you got like Hope Solo and Kyle Martino and Ronaldo saying we want to get rid of the pay for play, then you got a bunch of people voting because they want to keep that because they make money off that. It's just weird system.
I think going back to Sunil thing, large part of his tenure as the Soccer Federation president has been good. He's done a lot of good for the game. He honestly has. Unfortunately, his last year or so is going to be tarnished by U.S. men not making the World Cup, the way he's handled some stuff with the females game.
What he screwed up with, he did not realize his time was done, and instead of stepping down and letting someone else earlier come in, he got put in this position.
So the voting, though, I think what you were just saying, the professional council holds 25.8% of the vote. The state associations that make up the adult council, they hold 25.8%. The youth council, 25.8%. They have a big influence. The remaining votes, 2.6, will be taken into national associates and affiliates. And then Federation board and life members up to 12 votes. So the professional council is kind of split there, I believe. And it's the athletes. I'm sorry.
Well, the athletes were the
athletes
kingmakers.
council holds 20%. Sorry. The athletes council holds the other 20%.
And because they chose to vote in a block, they were the kingmakers.
Yes, essentially.
That was it.
Which they have the option to do. It's not like they did anything wrong, and it's been done before in the past, I believe.
But what's interesting is Don Garber's candidate was
Kathy Carter.
Kathy Carter. That is not.
They also in a way were kingmakers because I believe it was reported correctly. Going from second to third round, they switched their vote there because they kind of knew that.
No, but I'm saying the athletes though
led it.
Yes,
to begin with, yes.
But I'm saying against Don Garber's can't. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of those players play in the MLS, and they chose to vote
or whatnot. Yes, it's. I mean,
look at the end of the day, there is so much more beyond the president that's screwed up in this situation with the soccer federation. Here's the good news. Any change at this point is good. Here's the other thing. Cordero will not serve near as long as Galati. The era of...
You don't know that.
No, you do, because people didn't know Sunil's... It wasn't on the tip of people's tongues until recently, in recent soccer history. That was stuff that happened behind closed doors people didn't know about. Now, it is a very vocal, very, the eyes of the soccer public fandom.
Very transparent.
Yeah, are on it and demanding more transparency, right? And now the reporters are demanding more transparency because the fans want it and they want...
So what if he does that?
So, no. Oh, man.
Well, he's already going to make some change.
But here's the thing. This is just like... It's like Sir Alex Ferguson is your coach. Who's your next coach? Who's your next coach?
But you can't. No. You can't make a comparison of
no.
Sir Alex.
Yes,
and
I can.
Galati. No, there's no freaking way you can do that.
Here's why you can. The U.S. achieved more than it ever achieved,
but not up to Sir Alex will go down as a legend of the game. Sunil Galati will go as
Sunil's not a coach.
Footnote.
Stop. He's not a coach. You got to think globally, right? Right? You think because it's bigger than just like coaching a team. What I'm saying is the next guy does not get long to prove himself. The next Cordero was not going to have unless all the people he stays in the pockets of all those people we're talking about. But if the soccer public turns hard against, I don't think you're going to see him there because Sunil could have run for re-election and won. He kind of was forced out because of public opinion to the federation.
Public opinion is not what won this.
No,
so he could have stayed in it.
But public opinion forced the vote to happen.
It forced candidates to come out, but the public opinion has no bearing on the actual voting process. And you can say that's not fair, but then from what you look at Total Soccer Show and ESPN FC and some of these things, they're saying, well, if you're saying the public doesn't have anything to do with it, do something about it. Join your leagues, join the adult council, join the youth leagues. You can get there by doing that. So you can't sit there and say, oh, the public has nothing to do about it. The public was all over Kyle Martino and Eric Ronaldo, and they finished third and fourth.
You're missing what I'm saying. Yeah, the public doesn't vote. I get that. But the public opinion is what forced Sunil Galati to step down.
But who's saying Carlos Cordero can't change the public opinion? He's already going to do that. He's already going to implement these GM and technical.
But the public opinion
directors
is already so against him because he's part of the old.
Why?
Group.
You're not giving him a chance
because he's already he's been there for 10 years.
But that just doesn't matter.
Why not?
Why not? Because he's already said, I'm going to change a lot of what has happened. He didn't necessarily have the power to do that in his old position.
And the public trust politicians that say that.
That was my point.
Okay, but give him a chance. There's no point of going, no from the start. Give him a freaking chance at the start and then judge him on what he does.
Right. I think.
But don't do it with a shaded mind of already going, oh, he's just doing this because of this, or we don't like him because he's already part of the establishment. No, give it some time.
If the vice president and GM that come in are part of the establishment.
Okay, so to that point, what if he then hires Hope Solo as the female GM, and Kyle Martino as the male GM. Then what's everybody going to say? Everybody's probably going to go, well done. You've incorporated those that went against you and went against the establishment here.
But
he could do that.
Are those youth leagues that voted for him going to be, are those the youth program folks going to be like, don't you put in those two because they don't want us to exist like we do? We are the ones who vote for you, not the public.
But it wasn't the youth league necessarily in this. We said earlier it was the athlete council and the professional council.
Sure.
So would the athlete council mind if a former player and Kyle Martino was over them? Would the NWSL mind if Hope Solo, a former player? I'm not saying those are the ones that are going to be in those roles. But he could do that, and that he's already implementing a GM or a technical director of soccer is already a change. Something that we talked about on the pod a while ago. There needs to be somebody over the game specifically. He doesn't necessarily know soccer and know the games, but he knows business. And if he puts the right people in place to then run soccer, that's your.
The problem is, like you have both in different ways have said this. First, he's been part of the, quote, establishment for a very long time. So he got elected. However, he's got a harder uphill battle because he has been part of the establishment. That's on him. That's not on anybody else. Because if he didn't like things that were going on in U.S. soccer, he could have spoken up and been much more vocal about how he would do things or how he thinks things should be done. So since there was such a quiet acceptance of everything that he had done or that Galati had done, he's already, quote, part of the establishment, and therefore he's already got an uphill battle to fight.
His acceptance speech included saying, "Thank you for introducing me to soccer 10 years ago, Sunil."
Okay, so then
that's literally the guy.
And to that point, why are you then going to throw your boss under the bus? Am I trying? Because these things that we want to change weren't really at the forefront until what? Until the U.S. got knocked out and we didn't make the World Cup.
No,
then it exploded.
Before that. It was before that.
Yes, but it's slowly been building and been on the back burner by SB Nation and some. But it hasn't necessarily been in the forefront on ESPN Sports Center and all these others.
There's a lawsuit against U.S. soccer by the female players.
But it happened because of this now.
No, that happened earlier.
But
that's been going on for a long time.
And it hasn't been brought that heavy there because, for all accounts, Sunil has done a very good job. It's really just exploded in the past year.
Well, that means he did a bad job because he didn't see any of this stuff coming. But it was clear it was coming.
But where we were from the time he started to now is a big difference. And he has pushed the game forward. Whether you
that part is not in dispute.
So
for me, that part is not in dispute. However, the women's team has been asking for much better playing conditions, much better pay, much better travel accommodations than. And that's been going on for a number of years. Not, this just happened in the last year. That's been a number of years.
And you know where that's going to catch us?
I believe Cardeo said he was going to change that.
That's not the point. The point is, what I'm saying is, Sunil didn't do or mishandled, whatever he did, mishandled a lot of those things, which came back to bite him in the last year.
I mean, any presidential election where
Sunil,
all of that was also with his cabinet, if you will, of the vice president who was there through almost all of the rough time. So he is automatically linked to Sunil in public opinion. That it's just the way it is, just like every other politician in the entire world.
Any presidential election we've had where the vice president has been the nomination for a party, they have to run, whether they want to or not, based on everything their boss did. Because everybody just says, well, that's what you'll do. That's the assumption, is it will be more of the same. Whether people want that or not is what they have to decide.
He has a way harder time being elected as president than almost anyone else has before him. He has a very small window in which to make himself different than the quote same old. And
exactly.
If he doesn't, the patience that everyone will have and the leeway that people will give him is way smaller because of his uphill battle and his history.
And it's coming quick with the Women's World Cup.
It's just the way it is. You can be mad all you want and say, why aren't people giving him a chance? People aren't going to give him a chance because he's part of he's part of the old regime in people's eyes that hasn't done the job.
If you had a Winalda or like a Kyle Martino, just using those as examples, not saying, oh, they'd be great, but like who came in and said, we're going to try something. And that first something fails, there would have gotten more leeway.
That's true.
Then Cordero's going to get, because whatever he does, if it does not work out the gate, we'll go, see, same crap.
But are we at that level now? And we don't know as a general public. Are we at that level now? We should just blow it all up. Apparently not, because that's what those who have voted, and Carlos won pretty much in a landslide. We're not at that point to blow it all up. We still have a foundation there. I think what he's trying to do, and his platform includes a strong focus on growing the sport, obviously, making it affordable for young players, expanding diversity, developing commercial relationships to increase revenue, create a national team technical department, delegate the task of hiring national team managers, implement equal pay between the men and women's teams while providing both the same training support, increased role of upper levels of federation, giving the board, so on and so forth. So it's already that's what we hold him to. So time will tell. Will he have a harder in public perception? Yes. But says he does two of those things over the next year.
I don't trust that he listens. Only because Hope Solo raked him over the coals, and then he hugged her on the way up, and everybody went, "Did he?
Yeah,
she hear what?" And then he went,
"Listen."
He literally went, "I was thinking about my speech. What did she say?"
Listen to the Max and Hurt podcast though on ESPN. Hope Solo had a quote that was one of a Hope Solo's quote that basically dug into him. But then in that same conversation with him, paid him a very good compliment that was along the lines of he hugged her and said, despite, I'm paraphrasing a lot, but despite what happened, we are here to move this game forward. So basically saying, hey, no hard feelings here. I'm here to move this game forward, including everybody. Again, I'm paraphrasing a lot. Go listen to that podcast or look online. All I'm saying is let's give the man a chance. Let's find out what he does. If 4 years from now we're not in a better place, okay, then those that are saying this now, the public, the media, get into how this can be voted upon.
Do you know
now.
Where you should blow it all up and start over? Did you keep watching after the election was over?
Well, you blow it up because of the people. Well,
and see the delegates who actually vote get up and talk.
Right.
I was like, are we at the Moose Lodge?
Yes.
It was.
I will agree.
Very,
yes,
very.
I will agree with that. But that's where, again, if I go into Carlos, then hires technical director Kyle Martino for the men and technical director Hope Solo for the females.
Well, I don't know that I would agree with that.
No, but I'm throwing them out as
sure. I get
young, different-minded folks, right? That know the game, that have been there, that can work with player development and put together a team. Assuming they can, but
the delegates,
say it's Winalda and Julie Foudy. Would everybody go, oh, okay, well, he's putting people in charge that know the game. Not putting Bob from the Elk Lounge down to run U.S. soccer.
No, well, he doesn't have to,
or men's soccer.
He doesn't have to. As long as Bob, who runs the Moose Lodge, is his best friend and is in charge of so many votes to keep him elected, he doesn't have to put them into big positions. He's just got to maintain roughly better than the status quo. As long as he's pleasing the people that vote, he doesn't have to please anybody else.
Vote in blocks like that.
He doesn't have to please anybody else. So I think that kind of thinking is a little disingenuous, really,
because it's all going to be about keeping those people happy, like those people who run those youth programs.
Okay. If he can do both, he can do the business side of us. He can get us the World Cup in 2026.
You keep saying that, but then why isn't he the general manager instead of the president?
He could be in charge and put people in place that then can work the factions within U.S. soccer. It's bigger than what we think it is. It's not just the U.S. men's game and the U.S. women's game.
It's amateur.
If he puts people in charge that know that and allow them to take charge of it,
I think first
he's then done smart and put people in charge. That
I think first everyone honestly has to admit that the setup for soccer in this country, all the way from recruiting youth all the way to the men's national team, the entire thing is basically broken and needs to be rehashed completely in order to be better at it. Take Iceland's example. Hey, we want to be in the World Cup. We're going to do everything we can to put soccer stadiums indoors and stuff like that for kids so that we can, they took their system, gave an honest look at it, and went, this sucks. We need to do something else. I don't know that you're going to get that from the new president.
Yeah, that feeling of that is if we're going to make it.
So give him a chance to.
Sure, and his chance, I'll put money on it, is going to be, we're going to make change. 3.5% to 4% of change. It's not going to be a big change, which is what people want.
We'll see.
I'll bet a case of Moo Thunder that 4 years from now we're sitting in a better place by far than we are now.
But what's your barometer for that?
Equal pay, equal the diversity. The game's not as expensive for young players. We make every World Cup. There's a GM. There's a technical director. Well, everything that he says is. But that.
How long is this term?
My vote would, if I had a vote, it would have probably been for Kyle Martino. He understands the game. He's played in the game in the MLS so he understands all factions of it. So he would have probably been my vote. But what I'm saying here is just give Carlos Cordero a chance. He obviously
I have no choice but to give him a chance.
But he also played this election very smart. He didn't come out on the ESPNs and the Fox Sports, and we saw who doing that. Winalda, Hope Solo, Kyle Martino. He was doing this.
All the people outside the current establishment.
You are actually making my argument.
Well, no, hold on.
Because he didn't care about everybody else. He only cared about the establishment.
But he cared about how do I get into place to then make that change. And how he could get into place was by talking and throwing out his plan and his idea to the groups that have the actual votes. As cruel as that sounds and as bad as that sounds, Kyle, Eric, Hope, Steve Gans, whoever the hell else, threw that out to the public. Well, I'm sorry, the public don't have a vote in this.
You're wrong.
They don't.
You're wrong.
Officially, they don't.
No, you're wrong. Here's why you're wrong. Cordero has nothing on his platform that you just mentioned if they had not gone to the public and said this is what they want. So the public opinion
You're
says,
assuming that was the
I
case.
want this. No, this is how politics, this is how it works. Our last election worked that way. Each time someone drops out of the primary, the remaining candidates start to take on some of their positions in a way to gain popular vote from the people. Now that's again with the people overall. But these things he starts taking on that wasn't talking about before, he talks about now because that was so popular amongst Winalda. It was so popular because
he's not saying we're going to do the relegation and all of that.
Oh wait, no, he's not. No, Winalda was the only guy that was going relegation.
They all had equal pay. I mean, there are certain aspects that are the same, but you can't sit there and assume that he did this because of everybody else. Again, all I'm saying is just give him a chance. Let's not tear the wall down. Not support U.S. soccer. Now's the time to support soccer in this country. Don't say we're not going to give a dime to him. That's bull.
We'll see if the women play on turf or not.
And if they're not, then voice your opinion. That's fine.
We already did.
And if he's not doing anything about it, then fine. But give him a chance too. He's 7 days in. He's on for 4 years. Let's find out what he's done after 4 years.
Perhaps you are either
trying to do a half glass full kind of.
I am not clear, or you're projecting your insecurities of the president on me. My entire point is not that I won't give him a chance. It is strictly that he has a very, very short leash in most people's opinions. Because because of all the things we've already discussed, he has a huge uphill battle and a very short leash. So we're going to give him a chance because, like Blake said, that there's no other option. So
well, that's true too.
We give him the chance, but everybody's eyes are much closer to everything he does, and we're all paying attention.
He'll have to produce more than Sunil did to get the length of the longevity. And he isn't going to get the longevity. He isn't. Neither will the guy after him. These are going to be much quicker. People aren't going to sit there.
This was 3 rounds of old dudes trying to figure out.
No, but I'm saying people aren't going to. It's not going to be. You're not going to get reelected. That's not going to happen anymore, unless America's just killing it. But I don't. You know.
Who knows at that point?
Well, based on our youth development at this point,
and the other
7 days in.
Well, the other realistic thing that you have to think about is no honest from a youth development level. I'm not talking about do the women play on turf? Do they have equal pay? I'm not talking about that. But the growth of U.S. soccer from the grassroots level to the time we see any real benefit from that is going to be quite some time. He is not going to have the benefit of making some great change that all of a sudden the players that are in high school now are somehow miraculously better so that we are suddenly in every World Cup from here to eternity. He's got a long uphill battle to deal with in that respect. He's going to have to make change now and hope that all of the change he's doing is actually going to see a benefit by the time he's done being president. But that's a really tricky thing because of all the money involved and all the logistics involved, that people aren't just suddenly better.
Yeah, because the truth is,
if soccer could be pieces in place,
that would hold true for anybody who was elected.
Right, U.S. soccer could be in a lot worse place in 4 years, and it's because of what he's inherited. But it won't matter. They'll still come after him with pitchforks.
And that you see about half, if he's there for 4 years, half his presidency is going to be clouded under Sunil. The other half will then, whatever he's done is then going to be transfer, if he's only here for 4 years, then transfer into the 2 years of the new president. That's how it works with the president of our actual country, right? Everybody's saying, oh, this president's done this for the economy. Well, maybe it was the president before. So he's not in a good position. He's just not in a good position to make effective change at the moment in the grassroots level of the game.
That's one aspect of his platform and all the others' platforms. He puts pieces in place. I agree. He's not going to do that in 4, but if he puts pieces in place, I'm kind of seeing it a different way. Where we were at to any change at this point is an upward, in my opinion. Establishment or not. The feeling I get is that he knows how to work the business side of things. Okay? He wouldn't have been voted first with, was it 68.8% of the
Well, that's
vote?
not fair. That's only after everybody else dropped out.
Okay, but he led from the start. That's accurate, and that's fair. He led all the way from first to the end. So it's not like he jumped up from third and got into first.
By about 1.5 points in the very beginning.
He still led, which means the strong vote was for him the entire time. If he can work that side of the game, then put people in place.
We know you can lose the election and win the popular vote.
Yeah, that's happened a few times. We live in Florida.
The thing is that there's no popular vote in this case, though. Punch the Chad, baby.
But that's also the thing that people hate about this election. You keep talking about Cadero. No, hold on. But people are really talking about Cadero and Kathy Carter. That over 60% of the vote goes to the complete establishment. Nobody in that room really cared.
They know how to work.
Dude, you say that?
Well, no, I'm saying it, but it shows clear.
No. It shows that the people who vote, who have financial interests, are going to get taken care of.
That's what I'm saying. But if he can take care of them and still implement people in place.
But that's why the youth program sucks. If he takes care of them and keeps it the status quo.
He wasn't in charge then. So
nobody certainly had a vote on everything.
Yeah.
And his voting record is basically for pretty much anything Sunil wanted.
And if he says, I'm going to go against this, they go, well, did you like our block of 20%? Well, we're not going to get that. You better not do this. What are you trying to do?
we weren't in those rooms. Did he go in there and say, here's what we're going to change? And they backed him on that?
Record. It's a matter of public record.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay, but if he went into the athletes council and said, here's what I'm going to change. And they all went, I'll be darned. Are you good with this? I'm good with this. You know what? This may actually work. Not only will we still get paid, but this may actually improve the game. We don't know that. Something happened here where he sold them on change and still backing their investments of getting paid and doing whatever else. So just give him a chance.
I think we're going to look back and say there was a chance to do something different and they didn't do it. And when things aren't better and the youth programs suck in 10 years still because you got to pay to play, because that's too much money.
I think in this country, you're always going to have to pay to play. I don't think that's fully going to be
then we're screwed.
Eradicated.
We will never win the World Cup.
Can it be
we'll never win the World
$2,000 for a club trip?
We'll never be as good
I think that cost will go down significantly.
We'll never be as good as Brazil. We'll never be good at Argentina. When you've got kids that like literally can go, I'm going to try to be the best player I can be because I live in a terrible situation. I'm going to do my best to play out of it. We'll never be the best. We'll never be the best.
Okay, but we can go on for days.
Because then it's not.
There's more to that, though. We also have to get soccer on the forefront of this sport's tongue.
Well, you know,
right now it's not. It's
NFL,
it's NBA.
You don't
it's MLB.
hire the same guy whose team was the ones that was like, sure, we'll keep Jurgen Klinsmann forever. Oh, let's just go back to Bruce Arena. Same old, same old. That's who he's part of.
But he is not going to actually hire the next head coach. I guarantee you.
No, but
it'll be a technical director that hires the next coach. You get somebody in charge that knows what they're doing.
That may be, but he's got a lot of pull.
Yeah.
Well, yes, yes.
And he's part of the same old
But
crew.
don't make it sound like he's going to be that he has nothing to do about it.
Of course, he's not going to just wash his hands clean. But I think he's a smarter guy than what.
Oh, I think he's smart.
Okay, but if he puts people, we've been over. I'm not going to go around in circles with it. All right, here's what we'll do. It's an audible podcast. This is
Meet
terrible,
the new boss, same as the old boss.
In 4 years,
the king is dead. Long live the king.
In 4 years, will he be re-elected into the next president? Thumb up or down?
Let's see. This is 2018, so that'll be 2022. We will have had the Women's World Cup and know whether the guys
and we'll have qualified. Yeah, no, the guys.
I'm going to say he's not going to be here. Thumb down.
I have my thumb up.
I say he's going to be, so thumbs up, but not because he was some stellar, amazing president.
So you vote thumbs up, but things aren't better.
So you're kind of like a thumb,
I'm solidly thumbs up.
He is thumb up.
I'm just saying,
but things won't be better.
He will have worked the system so that his constituency.
I should have been more specific for Ron.
Yeah.
His constituency.
Speaking of which, did you ever find that goalie that's apparently better than David De Gea out there?
Reality, though, is I'm with him. Like that's what the reality be. He'll probably run again and win.
Is it a possibility? Yes, of course. I'd be sad if that's the case.
Unless if things are the same and some of these same people, if the Kyle Martinos decide to come back and push again, I don't know. But also that delegate room needs to change. That was
they'll all be dead.
Half of them like Gary Gygax, which is a real deep cut. I know the dude that invented D&D. The dude who stood up who was like, I dished the suit a long time ago, as you can tell. I'm like, yeah, you fat Santa, because you're sitting there wearing like a t-shirt, looking like a pile of crap, and like, what are you doing, dude? Like a white t-shirt and like, what's happening?
Yeah. By the way, that post getting up of I'm the Kansas City development coach of yada yada yada, and it's some Santa looking dude in sandals and cargo shorts because he's in Florida. Like,
yeah. What are you guys?
The time,
let's get somebody under the age of 30 out here, please.
The time that I will be solidly in his corner is when he makes change in the establishment that directly affects whether or not he will make. how do I put this? He will make change that directly and could negatively impact him and the people who are making the most amount of money out of the current system.
But he does it because he thinks it's the right thing to do.
Correct. So if he changes the voting style to make it more fair across the different voices of the actual soccer community, and he turns the current money regime inside out, then I will say, you know what? That you did that because it was the right thing to do, not from your own personal benefit, and that will make U.S. soccer better. Then I'll be one of his biggest fans.
And let's be honest, even though, as Fair said, and it's true, USSF, it's a much bigger thing than just the men's club or the women's national team, or like it's a lot of things. Amateur leagues, everything. It's everything in American soccer. The first test is going to be this mythical head coach for the United States men's national team that still needs to be found. And depending on how that falls, picking Bruce Arena to me was very telling. They strung out with Klinsmann so long and just went back to something they knew. I think this will be very telling who they choose to go with.
And
for the next.
I slightly disagree with that. I think it'll be whoever he puts in place of the technical positions or the GMs. I think that is more telling than anything.
Yeah, but you may not know those people.
That's fine.
Yeah, but I'm saying you'll know the coach. It doesn't have to be
a popular vote.
No.
You don't have to know the coach. What if the coach is a no name?
Then that's probably a bad thing.
Gareth Southgate is the head coach of England. He was the under-21 coach. Was he known in England?
But the under-21 team was good.
He wasn't a Carlo Ancelotti. He wasn't a Roy Hodgson. He wasn't a Sam Allardyce. Got him to.
But the under-21 kids were good, and England knew them because of it.
It's a job that he did. But what if Tab Ramos gets head coach? He's done a good job with the under-20, under-21 team. So
you're better than Bruce Arena.
Carlos the Rivas Rocket.
As a head
coach?
Go
for him. Yep.
Okay, here he is. There he is.
Have another one, Ron. No.
I think we should hire like Bill Belichick or some. Let's get somebody in there that knows how to win.
Oh, that was my favorite thing today. The Valentine's Day card of Tom Brady bumbling a ball that said, "I would drop anything for you. Be my Valentine."
That's brilliant.
What was the Bulls head coach? Let's get him in there.
Oh, Phil.
Phil, yeah.
I was about to say Phil Coulson, but that's the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. from Marvel. Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Samsonite.
What about the sandwich goalie?
I want the pie goalie.
The
pie guy? Yeah.
That guy.
Oh,
I want Mickey Bubbles to coach the U.S. men's national team.
And the new GM should be Rose
Mrs.
Lavelle.
Miggins. Oh.
Rose Lavelle, yeah. No, we need her to play. Screw that.
Mrs. Miggins.
Yeah. Ooh, there's going to be
Mrs.
some
Miggins as GM of the female national team.
I hope the Brutal game is still rolling in 4 years. We'll see who's going to be drinking all the
That's what we should have done, the thumbs up or down for.
Who's going to be drinking all the Moose Thunder?
It's a thumb down.
Because there's going to be a lot of Moose Thunder drink in 4 years, depending.
That's a lot of shakes. Oh, man.
That's a lot of...
I got a gallon of ice cream sitting in front of us and a case of Moose Thunder.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Oh, Moose Thunder, by the way, was a very terrible stout. If you listen to the pod, there's some old episodes where we made one a bet to finish it off. Now, to be fair, we never did discover
Phil Jackson.
If they were actually terrible, or if it was the fact that we had them last year when I looked and noticed that the ABC store had sold it to me, though it was expired by like a year or two earlier. But there's still one left in the fridge, Ferris. It's waiting for a dumb bet at some point. Yeah, it's waiting. I'm kind of hoping Arsenal catches up to Chelsea a little bit because last year we did it over the whole Arsenal or Man U ahead of each other.
Right.
So I'm like, come on, Arsenal, catch up to Chelsea, and then we'll make that like the last weekend bet. That would be a good one.
Yeah, I want to see one of you two do it. I don't want to be involved in this somehow. I want to be the person that sits there and does
and then Fairs
points and laughs.
Exactly.
We'll just drink it.
I'm usually the one that people point and laugh at, so I want to be on the other side.
It was your idea to make a float out of it. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, we just said you had to drink it.
I try to make it more appeasing.
Yeah, you made it something.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's a good episode, gents. I like when it gets feisty.
It was feisty. We sung some songs. We had some beer. Talked a little soccer.
Yeah, nothing better than like talking to Ferris, even when he's wrong. But it's fine. It's a good pod.
It happens a lot on this pod. Don't worry. It's always 2 against 1 and sitting here. Yeah.
What?
That's not true at all.
That's why we have 3. It doesn't always. The one always changes.
I wasn't.
Although we've had a few where it's split 3 ways too, though.
I was not against you. I was merely stating a different side of both of your opinions. So we
covered it from all angles then.
I just haven't
poorly, but we covered it from all angles.
I just don't believe in this president. That's all.
But he believes in you.
I believe in you, Ferris. Ferris for president. Let's elect Ferris president.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be?
Hey, and congratulations to old Orlando Pride player, Kaylin Kyle. Randomly, I just saw that she is pregnant with her and Harrison Heath, Coach Heath's son, having a kid.
Hooray.
Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah,
I think that was a little while ago, but hey.
I just saw the Instagram post that showed like she was like baby belly. I was like, oh, I hadn't heard. So yeah, there you go. Well, gents, that was fun.
Yeah.
If you are someone that leaves us a review, please take a screenshot of it. Send us something like at thebrutalgame@gmail.com or on Twitter at brutalgame, or find us on Facebook, because someone just left a new review. It was great. We loved it. But we're not sure who you are. So get in touch with us if that was you, and we'll make sure to get a koozie out to you. Brutal Game koozie.
And a magnet if we have any.
And a magnet if we got any left. And listen, you can find us on Stitcher, iTunes. If you leave those reviews on iTunes, those are huge. And then, of course, the website, thebrutalgame.com. Oh, and on Untapped. We keep getting friends on Untapped to find out what beers we're drinking and what beers you're drinking. On the Instagrams. Anything else? Spotify. Oh, yeah. We are shows now on Spotify. And then, of course,
Soccer Talk.
We're on the All Sports. I can't even say it.
All in Sports Talk.
All in Sports Talk. Thank you. Which is their Twitter is All in Sports.
We don't have trouble saying, but their Twitter handle is shorter than what their full title is. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
So that's why we always have which one?
What is this again?
Yes, their Twitter handle is All in Sports Talk. At All in Sports Talk. But they do. We are on their internet radio station, which is all soccer all day long. So you can discover a ton of great shows.
A lot of good
everything
shows
from Premier League to MLS to Serie A. Like it's awesome. So give them a listen. I think that wraps us up. Anything else?
Oh, I want to dance with Swansea. I want to feel the heat with Swansea. Yeah, I want to dance with Swansea. With Swansea, who loves me.
Oh my gosh. Love the beer, cherish the game. The Brutal Game.
You lost that Watford too.
Oh,
Watford
Can we edit
lost
that part out?
Silva
we won't
feeling.
edit that out.
God bless you.
You're
Thank you. You're a
keeping
kind soul.